morning, friends. It is 5:22 a.m. and we're about to get started. If I can find my watch, which I had misplaced slightly. Let's see, do we need a bit more light or are we good on light? I think a bit more light is going to be just what we need. There we go. Hey there, how are you doing this morning? I hope you're doing all right. I know I'm doing just fine. Had a good weekend. Slept so tonight because one of the kids is coughing and therefore has a hard time sleeping. So not the best night of sleep, but good enough to be here at 5:28 a.m. And we are about to embark on a 20-30 minute heavy kettlebell journey. I've got my 20, 16, and 12 ready and got the 8 there just for some warming up. So that's what we're going to be doing this morning. What about you? What are you up to this morning? How do you feel? Let me know in the chat when you drop by. Go ahead, say hi, and we can get started. For those of you who are watching, my name is Toby. Good morning, and I am 40 years old. I train to live an active, self-sufficient, and adventurous life. The way I do that is I try to mind my sleep. I try to get between 7 and 9 hours sleep, so that means I'm usually in bed by 9 or 9:30 and up at around 5 to be here to do the workout and stream. I mind what I eat. I try to mind my energy balance on a mission to maintain my current shape and size and weight. And I try to eat between 120 and 150 grams of protein to build that muscle that I built through the weight and resistance training. I try to do strength training, conditioning training, mobility training, one of those every day. So that's what you see here in the live stream. And I try to do things I enjoy, spend time with people I love and care about, and try to live a relatively stress-free life if and where possible. And putting all those things together hopefully will help me live till I am 70, 80, or even 90, apparently. Maybe 100 is even within reach, in relative health and well-being, because the fact of the matter is we're getting older, but we're not getting healthier. In those final years specifically, actually starting in our 40s and 50s already, start to get riddled with disease and discomfort, and I'm going to try and stay ahead of that curve. So let's see how far we get and where we're going to get with my current lifestyle. That being said, this is about the way I feel, not about the way I look. I think all and any fitness goals are good and very personal, and we're all in a different phase and place in our journey. So whatever it is that you're trying to do, let me know in the chat and maybe we can have a chat about it. My goal is to just feel fit, competent, and capable for whatever life throws at me, and that's what we're going to be working on and chasing after throughout these sessions. I think it's too easy to forget. That's why I always remind myself and others on the stream that we're good just the way we are. We've got to love ourselves before we can move on. And the only way to get anything done is by showing up and doing the work. So I'm going to turn on the timer. We're going to start with a light warm-up, specifically of the shoulder and neck region. And then we're going to get started. All right. We do this just to check in with different parts of the body, to understand if there are any ailments or impediments to my range of motion that I need to be aware of as I'm training this morning. By the way, it is Monday, and it is the 4th week of our head start getting on 2025's New Year's resolutions. So what that means is that today we're going to talk about that final behavior change that we were going to use to learn how easy or hard it might be to add a new behavior or routine to our daily life, because we already have a lot of commitments, responsibilities that we are trying to juggle. Making small changes can prove to be fairly challenging, and now we started off with something relatively simple and easy, which was to add a glass of water to the daily routine, which you may have seen me start to do every day after. See, I can feel something in my left knee and cough with this one that I need to be aware of. So a glass of water every day, an extra glass of water, just to see how hard it would be or easy to just add one small thing that we need to do every day consistently to a new routine. And I think everyone probably figured out that it's actually a lot harder than we realize to take the steps necessary to build a small new habit like that. But that's always a neat one to start with, because it will show us exactly where we have some challenges in figuring out how to adapt not only our behavior, but the structure and circumstances of our day-to-day and our life. So that's another one. And the social structures of our life that actually keep us doing the things we do over and over and over again. So, I guess what I am trying to say is that adding new behaviors to your routine is hard, and it's probably harder than we think. It's one of the reasons why New Year's resolutions often fail, is because we forget that everybody wants to be fit, but nobody wants to become fit, right? And now we can say a lot about that, but in the end, one of the things that comes down to, friends, is the ability to learn to do small things consistently over time that over the years and months will have a profound payoff on how fit and healthy we are in life. So small habit, we started with the glass of water. Then from a glass of water we started to add a 10-minute walk, because now we're looking at a different structure in our life. We're looking for a point in our schedule within those 7 days where we can reliably insert some exercise. So here we now have 10 minutes that we are trying to find where we might be able to do 10 minutes of exercising. In this case, just going for a 10-minute walk, because generally that is relatively easy to fit in to our day-to-day schedule. Why? Why is that relatively easy to fit in our day-to-day schedule? Because generally we already tend to go out for a walk. Start-stop swings 5 times. So that's how we learn and keep going. Septa, hey, good morning. Thanks for dropping by. Today's not the day for me to do the kettlebell wake shift, but on my mobility days, I've definitely added it to the routine. Thanks for dropping by, saying hi, and for checking in with me and helping me find a new exercise. I appreciate that, and I hope you're doing well where you are in the world. And I appreciate you having helped me find a new and useful exercise to add to my routine. So tell me, are you into kettlebells yourself? Do any kind of working out with kettlebells, or maybe training, or are you a kettlebell trainer? Or you just found that particular exercise useful? I'd love to hear about that and learn where you picked that up from. 5 more. Start, stop. 2-hand kettlebell swings. It's the third. And we're going to keep going. So it's 5:38 a.m. We're working on strength with the kettlebell this morning. Alright, so we were talking about adding that walk to your routine, right? Where in the day do you find 10 minutes to go for a walk? Is it when you are going to work in the morning, you leave home 10 minutes early, park your car 10 minutes away, park your car 10 minutes away from the office? There are different moments in the morning. To actually try to add a 5 to 10 minute walk to your routine. So where's that going to fit in? It's important to think about and to realize. Then, when you've done that, you can also do it for lunch, right? I try to take one walking meeting throughout the day with a colleague on weekdays. Different moments to find those extra 10 minutes of movement. Taking the stairs instead of taking the elevator. Amongst others. So, things worth considering and thinking about. 5 more to go. Then we're going to move on to some presses. Then we're going to move on to some leg work again. So, trying to figure that out for yourself. Where in the day can we find 10 minutes of the day to go out for walks and to walk around and to do the work. And you'll see that the demands of the day, responsibilities, the commitments that you have, the social structures that surround your day, from home to work to community, society that you're a part of, well, they start to play an important role. They start to play an important role in how your day is structured, and that means also how you find time to make something of the day. David M., thanks for dropping by, saying hi. I hope you're doing all right where you are in the world. I hope you're having a good day and have had a good weekend, or are having a good weekend. 20 kilos proving to be quite the weight. Alright, so finding time to go out for a walk and discovering the social structures, the commitment structures, responsibility structures that govern our day-to-day life, right? So worth doing that exercise just to understand which days have more or less bandwidth to actually try to add any kind of workout to. So there we have that. The third one already became a bit more complex in terms of fitting it in, because this was a daily habit at the end of the day that we did the last week, where we are trying to find 15 minutes at the end of the day to wind down before sleep, to improve the ease of falling asleep, but also the overall sleep quality. Now, how hard or easy do you think it is, or has it proven to be, to take 15 minutes at the end of the day and take charge of them? Now, this could be including toothbrushing and other things. I'm really talking about those last 15 minutes before you really fall asleep. And to do cleans and presses, by the way, 5 times left, 5 times right. Left, 5 times right. So we can fill another 10 minutes of our day with this. All right. So, finding those 10 minutes before bed, why it matters, why it's important, is because you, as a person, have experiences throughout the day that fill your head. You've also been eating, drinking, talking, and one of the things we tend to forget is that our brain needs some time to digest, adjust, and prepare for bed. Now, you could be like me. You could wake up ridiculously early every day, and that means come at 8 o'clock, you're going to be tired as hell, especially if you do it for 338 days in a row. You're going to see that you're going to develop quite a natural progression. But if you don't want to do that, figuring out what works for you and how to fit a evening routine and some considerations into your day-to-day become all the more important. Bedtime starts 12 hours before bedtime. That's something we tend to forget. If our body isn't primed by morning to understand that it's up and active, and if you don't sleep enough and suffer from that afternoon dip where you're then forced to take an afternoon nap, a bit more control on the descent is probably desirable. So we're going to work on that in the next sets. Yeah, so we're going to have to plow through that and then be mindful of what we eat in the evening. Caffeine early on or late in the afternoon disrupts our ability to fall asleep, right? Heavy meals, greasy, fatty meals might upset our stomach, whereas lighter, easier to digest meals make it easier for our system to process them and to go to sleep. Alcohol is a consideration as it interferes with the quality of our sleep. So the quantity and the timing. What I do on holidays, for example, is I will usually have my wine or beer in the afternoon with lunch or after lunch instead of in the evening with dinner, just because there's something to be said for enjoying some of the pleasures of life. So there we go, that's better. Enjoying some of the pleasures of life, but trying to do it smartly, and sometimes a glass of wine in the evening is exactly what the doctor ordered, right? For whatever reasons. So, but understanding that about sleep helps us already plan better. So, for example, if I want to be up at 5 every day, then yeah, 9 p.m. becomes the default bedtime. And I get 2 hours in the evening to sleep. And I get 2 hours in the morning to do what I want, because everyone is usually still asleep around this time. Usually, because if you've been on my stream long enough, you know that that's not always the case. So, anyway, that's a consideration, right, friends? And then there is the 10 to 15 minutes before sleep. Which I prefer to spend reading, because just reading pages on a book, the story, not self-help, not information and knowledge that is going to help me get ahead in life, but just general storytelling, something entertaining and enjoyable, is what I would be looking for, because a story, good character, and the adventures they are on usually help put you right to sleep. So, one more set left, one more set right. Help the mind unwind, focus on something else. And usually after 1 or 2 pages, I notice I get drowsy, like I start to doze off, put the book away, and I usually fall asleep relatively quickly and easily. So that was the 3rd week. Now the 4th week is about nutrition. And you will know that you'll know that one of my pillars is to try to get 120 to 150 grams of protein in. And there are different paths to that, but I think the first thing to realize is that more protein, especially if you're going to try to adopt an active lifestyle, being mindful of how much you consume and in which quantities, specifically of proteins, carbohydrates, and fats, just some general awareness, is a great step towards understanding the impact of food on nutrition, nutritional habits, on our general health and well-being. So, there we go. All right. I have to do the other one. I'm going to do that with a 20. Five on one side, 5 with the weight on the other side. So where do you begin? Is it going to be breakfast, lunch, or dinner? It's the wrong question. The question is, where does your nutrition routine come from? How have you built it up over the last 15, 20, 25, or 30 years of your life? Right? And you can't undo what you've done, but some of us, me included, when I started on this journey, have to realize that we have a lot to learn when it comes to nutrition and the choices we make. So generally, nutrition comes with an understanding of what the right quantity of food is in a day for us as individuals to consume. Mileage may vary across people. Needs may vary across people. Needs may vary across days for the same person. But general rule, understanding what is enough, what is too much, and what is too little. And I'm not joking when I say that in general our understanding of this is 3, 4, 5 is not good enough. So that's one. And then from there, learning that food choices start with what we buy in the supermarket, how we plan our week of eating. If you go to the supermarket every day, for example, to buy what we need, or to the convenience store, do a lot of takeaways, versus having a plan for just one of the meals of the day and having everything in the house to preparing for that makes a huge difference. So that's 2. All right. But the way to learn that is very simply by picking one meal, and for that one meal deciding that you're going to keep it more or less the same. So it could be breakfast, it could be lunch, it could be dinner, but you're going to add about 15 to 20 grams of protein to that one meal. Now what's that going to show you? That's going to show you all of the above. It's going to show you what you think good protein is, what you've been taught. It's going to show you how much or how little protein actually is already in your meals. And the last one. And it's going to show you how easy or hard it is to try to plan as minor change. An addition, again, not taking anything away, but an addition to your general habits and routines this week. So you need to look up for your lifestyle, beliefs, medical conditions, what good sources of protein are. Right? You're mindful of that. And then from there, you start to understand which meal you might want to add some more protein to. All right, friend. And then you need to figure out how you're going to get enough protein into the house or to take along with you in order to actually meet that requirement and need. That's going to be a lot of fun. For those of you watching, thanks for dropping by, saying hi. David, Septa as well. My name is Toby. I'm 40 years old. I train to live an active, self-sufficient and adventurous life. We're at the end of today's session. Today's training was strength with kettlebells. It's usually quite short, 30 minutes. But I'm here every day. I train being fit and healthy and active for the rest of my life by minding my sleep, minding what I eat, strength training, conditioning training, mobility training. So if those are things that you're interested in, you go ahead, subscribe to my channel, and we can continue this conversation together, perhaps over time. Thanks for watching. Remember, as I always say, we're good just the way we are. We've got to love ourselves before we can move on. And the only way to get anything done, friends, is by showing up and doing the work. So thanks for subscribing. Thanks for watching. And I will see you tomorrow in my next video. Have a good Monday, friends. Take care.